The preliminary task was a necessary stage in learning the basic skills of creating a product. We had to demonstrate 3 continuity techniques in our preliminary task. These were the 180-degree rule, shot reverse shot, and match on action. The 180-degree rule of shooting and editing keeps the camera on one side of the action. The camera can't cross the line of the action drawn between the characters. The camera should always stay in the semicircle around the line of action. The camera may pan around in the semicircle, but the camera should never cross the line. This rule is used to orientate the viewer, as it keeps the characters in the same position compositionally on a particular side of the frame, and keeps their eye lines matching, while only one character is on screen at a time. Although I had previously demonstrated this technique on previous blog posts, I failed to complete this effectively in the preliminary task, as my camera crossed the line of action. This portrayed to me the importance of continuity and how it can have negative effects on a film if it is completed poorly. However, in my opening sequence I used that 180-degree rule effectively in the flashbacks, and Lola is constantly on the left and her sister on the right. The shot reverse shot technique is where the film footage cuts from one character talking to the other character talking, one person's view at a time. This technique is used during conversations and dialogue between characters. I use this technique constantly in my preliminary task to show the aggressive character talking to the supposed friend. I also use this technique in my opening sequence when the sisters are arguing with each other, which also demonstrates the 180-degree rule. I also use this when Lola is walking into the underpass and the shot views from the front and then from behind. Match on action occurs when you cut from one shot to another that matches the first shot's action and energy. This shooting and editing technique gives the impression of continuous time. If a match on action scene is filmed incorrectly, it can completely ruin the experience for the audience, as the film doesn't flow continuously. This could be caused by the character changing pace or a change of clothes. I use the match on action shot in the preliminary task when the character walks into the room and the shot cuts from the outside to the inside. I edited this together to make it appear as if it was one smooth motion, instead of separate shots. I used several match on action shots within my opening sequence, such as when Lola walks through her parents. I edited this so it cuts smoothly from one angle to the other. Also, when she walks into the bathroom and it cuts smoothly from the outside to the inside. There was also several of these shots when Lola is walking toward the underpass, and I had to edit this so her feet landed on the same one she picked up from the last shot. Also, this technique is used in the flashback where her sister goes to walk across the road. In my preliminary task, I didn't use a tripod, so some of the footage was very shaky, therefore drawing attention away from the actual film, as it isn't visually engaging. I learnt from this, and for my opening sequence I used a tripod and made sure my panning, tracking and still shots were completely still and moved smoothly, so that the film was more visually engaging. When filming my opening sequence, I made sure that my film flowed continuously and made use of all the continuity techniques, and all the actions and props were in the same place as to avoid continuity errors.